This Saturday, around the world, many people will be marking IWD 2025. If you don't know, it's International Women's Day, a day set aside to advance and celebrate women's equality. And this year's theme is Accelerating Action. It first began back in 1911 when one might imagine the need for equality was more stark, more immediate. But the sad, frustrating reality is that across the world, gender-based inequality, discrimination, exploitation and exclusion are just as prevalent. It's suggested that at the current pace, full gender equality will take 5 generations, with the World Economic Forum estimating it won't be achieved until 2158. In other words, it's taking far too long. So the day is an important reminder of the work that is still yet to be done. One of my favourite writers is Dorothy Day, a journalist and activist with an acute sense of social justice and, amongst other things, a woman who was all about accelerating action. She definitely needs to feature in future Thursday Thoughts, but with regard to injustice and inequality, she once observed that as you come to know the seriousness of our situation, you come to realise it's not going to be changed just by words or demonstrations. Rather, it's a question of living one's life in a drastically different way. Typically and provocatively, Dorothy Day reminds us that when it comes to change, we can and must take action ourselves. As individuals, we can all take steps in our daily lives to positively impact the world around us. We all have responsibility to take choices to make. We can all call out stereotypes and challenge discrimination. We can question our biases and celebrate the success of the woman we know. It's literally up to us. It's fair to say Jesus had 1 or 2 things to say about living differently too, and he also recognised that words weren't enough. Typically and provocatively, he lived out the changes he advocated. He embodied the difference he wanted to see. He rejected the cultural norms and stereotypes as he affirmed the dignity and value of women. Where society excluded women, he instead welcomed and embraced them. Time and again, he stepped over the expected boundaries and limitations and enlarged what was possible. Typically and provocatively, he would challenge those around him to go and do likewise. In short, he accelerated action. May we all be attentive to the needs of others, aware of what should be done, and courageous enough to do it. In other words, may we choose to live differently.